I've been playing Kirby ever since I started playing Smash Bros, and one of the main reasons for that is his copy ability. So I wanted to talk about them and some of the uses they have. I'm not going to go over combos here since other people have already done that. Instead, I want to talk about some of the more niche or weird uses for them. So let's get started. Since Kirby is shorter than most other fighters, his attacks come out lower to the ground. Against Bayonetta, for instance, it's much easier to hit Bullet Climax compared to Bayonetta. And against Kazuya, the Devil Blaster can't be crouched under. Being short also helps against Incineroar, as it gives Kirby a frame 8 out of shield option that kills. Incineroar is too tall to do this though. I do this more myself, but I use 2 buttons to short hop, and I don't have the extra finger to hit the special button, so if you're like me, you might struggle with this. But by far the biggest difference being small makes is with Samus's charge shot. See, Samus can't hit the ledge with her charge shot, making this trick exclusive to Kirby. Of course, the same is true with Dark Samus and even Mii Gunner. Lucario has to wait for Aura to hit ledge while Kirby doesn't, and it also works with Wii Fit Trainer, but only while she's doing her pull-up animation. And you can do it with Hero too, but so can Hero, so it's not necessarily Kirby specific. Hey, this is editing me. When I was testing everything to write the script, Hero Scriffriz did hit Kirby, but now that I'm going to go back and get footage, I couldn't get it to hit Kirby. I don't really know what to think. Maybe I tested something wrong, but at the very least, it's heavily inconsistent for Hero. You know how some moves stall you a bit in the air? Well, the amount of force they stall you by is the exact same when Kirby uses it. But since he's much floatier, it stalls him a little more, and a few abilities are great at abusing this. Yep, Water Shuriken gives Kirby a 6th ninja jump. Well, it's not quite as good as an extra jump. You can't go as far horizontally and you can't do anything during the animation, but the ninja jump can help with recovery and landing more than you think. Pyra offers something similar with Flame Nova stalling. Using Flame Nova right after jumping is a pretty good stall, and honestly I can't tell if this one's a meme or not, but at least it's fun. Kirby having multiple jumps is pretty cool, and it pairs pretty well with a lot of projectile abilities. With Mario, Doc, Pikachu, Pichu, and Mii Brawler, you can rain down projectiles while you land. Horizontal projectiles can be spammed while recovering to try and pressure someone ledge trapping, and the enhanced movement of cancelable abilities like Byleth and Sephiroth kind of make up for Kirby's low airspeed with 5 chances to turn around mid-air. If you didn't know, Kirby's copy abilities have a 1.2 times damage multiplier on them compared to the source move. Normally this doesn't mean too much other than damage adds up a little faster when you're getting hit by stuff, but one thing this does affect is shield damage. If you panic shield Byleth's fully charged Fail Not last second, you'll have to stop using your shield for a bit, but you'll be fine. Do the same with Kirby's Fail Not though. Instant shield break. The same is true with Ganon's Warlock Punch. If Pyra calls out your shield with Flame Nova, your shield will barely hold on, but if Kirby does the same, it breaks. Of course, you can just roll out of these, so it doesn't matter too much, I guess. These are the only full shield breaks I could find, but in general, Kirby will break shields slightly earlier than the source character will. Also, while we're on shield breaks, for shield break punishes, technically the only abilities that kill earlier than Hammer are Warlock Punch and Flare Blade, but don't let that stop you from styling on the fools. Mario, Fox, Ness, Doc, Falco, Mewtwo, Pit, Dark Pit, Lucas, Rob, Wolf, Palutena, King K. Rool, Hero, Kazuya, Mii Sword Fighter, and Mii Gunner all have projectile neutral specials, but also have reflectors. A lot of times, this causes Kirby players to be a little hesitant in using abilities, which honestly don't be, because it's a pretty hard call out on their end usually, and as long as you're not super predictable with it, throwing projectiles is pretty safe. But excluding these guys, if you want a 100% safe way to throw projectiles, most reflectors can be avoided by simply short hopping as you shoot the projectile. The trade-off here is that it's a little slower to shoot projectiles this way, but if you're worried about reflectors, it's super useful. Some reflectors can be avoided in other ways. You don't have to short hop against Pit if you angle the arrow a bit at the last second, although this doesn't work as well with Dark Pit. But holding up from the second you fire works as long as you're far enough. Against me Sword Fighter, you have to full hop since the projectile travels downwards. Against K-Rool, you can hold the button to shoot a reflected cannonball back at him, but a good K-Rool will just reflect it twice. In this case, just hold up or back to avoid getting hit. You can also try to hit his head to get around the reflector entirely, but I find this to be pretty precise. Maybe I'm just bad though. With Palutena, don't even worry about it, it doesn't hit Kirby anyways. You can also short hop to avoid Hero's reflection as long as you don't use the middle charge, but you really shouldn't be throwing projectiles in the first place. I also didn't mention Joker or Rosalina here despite having projectiles and moves to avoid projectiles, but that's because Joker's gun isn't a projectile, and gravitational pull doesn't affect Luma at all. Cry about it. Oh boy, this one's gonna be tough. Even I don't know all the intricacies of this ability, but here's a few tricks I do know. By placing a block with a one-tile gap like this, you can up B under it to shoot the projectile a little faster than normal. You have to start the up B from outside the block and slide into it during startup. Trying to start under it just causes it to disappear. Since Kirby can only use resources to build, all you really want is iron, so it's worth it to try and get rid of your dirt, wood, and stone. After getting the ability, you'll start with 2 dirt, 1 wood, and 1 iron, so place 3 blocks and start mining for iron. Kirby can stall really well with blocks, since he has 5 jumps, so there's a funny trick for you. Last thing I have is this. Taunting instantly gets rid of all blocks that Kirby's placed, and if you're standing on a block, your taunt gets cancelled immediately too, so you can try to catch someone off guard. Taunting also gets rid of projectiles with other abilities too, by the way. Alright, time for all the abilities that I couldn't really fit into a theme. If Snake catches your grenade or is holding onto his own, up throw him. Meta Knight and Charizard can do this too, I guess. Bowser Jr.'s Cannonball is great at dealing with Mecha Koopa since it goes right through. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about combos, but grabbing Isabel's Lloyd is a little weird, but just dash into it and hit the B button. Up tilt Lloyd kills it like 40. You can block and clean Splat Bomb with Splatter Shot, it's hilarious. Little Mac and Ike go over the ledge when they recover, kill them for it. You can B reverse Min Min's arm. Min Min can't. Eating Wario's bike to heal is super laggy, but with Wario's Chomp it's much faster. Of course, it only heals 1% and gives Wario's bike back, so whether or not you want to eat the bike at all is up to you. Against DDD, Kirby seems to always win these inhale trades, though I'm not going to pretend it's consistent. It's time for Olimar. Maybe this doesn't really count as niche or weird, but I still want to talk about Olimar's ability because it's actually the most toxic thing in the game. Olimar's neutral special only pulls a Pikmin, right? On its own it wouldn't make much sense for Kirby, so instead, Kirby immediately throws them. But it also wouldn't make much sense for them to hang around since Kirby doesn't use them for any moves, so instead they instantly die. But if they instantly die, they couldn't hang on to opponents to deal damage. So instead, they all do knockback. And Kirby can just keep throwing them. The only drawback is that you have to be grounded to use it, but who cares? It's free edge guards and it beats out Olimar's Pikmin. It's broken. Anyways, that's about all I have. I hope you learned something. This is pretty different from the videos I normally do, but if there's demand, I'd be happy to do more. A video on casual Smash sounds pretty fun. Things like final smashes or stages. If you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing. It means a lot to a small channel like mine. So with that, I'll see you next time. Bye!